If there's one thing that I've always wanted to do as an artist, it is to create beautiful, fun packaging. And I'm always so envious of artists who has delved into that, whether it's making packaging for their sticker sheets or actual boxes, things like that. But that's just something that I've never really dove into, but I've always found it so fun and fascinating. I actually worked with a designer to create packaging for my candle boxes. I had so much fun giving them like my brand identity, what it stands for, all of these like little details, and then they were able to spit back out like millions of designs for me to choose from. And that's just something that I really want to get into. I'm trying to start a series that is me kind of cosplaying as a packaging designer, with my first one being to package sourdough bread. I have been on a kick of making bread, and I say that as if I've been making bread this whole time, but I've just been starting out. I started making sourdough starter in the beginning of this year, and now it's like the end of January. So it's finally ready. It's bubbly, it's active, and I think I have a good chance of making good bread today or tomorrow. I think it's like a 24-hour process, so it might not even be done by the end of the day. But like I said, I really want to make this a series of me just like making packaging or sticker labels of things that I'm making, because I feel like I have a passion for not only art but also cooking too. So it's just so fun to like make stuff, and then I often give these things to like family or friends. So I wanted to make a fun little, I guess, giftable packaging to my friends and family. So let's get started. So before we make the label, we gotta make the bread itself. So I've been starting this sourdough since the beginning of the year, and now it's the end and it's finally ready. Oh, I wish I can just show you without, you know, spilling it, but it is so bubbly, so stringy. But one of the things that they said to test before you start it is to put it in water and see if it floats. And then if it floats, it's ready, because I think it like releases gas or something, making it be able to float. And if it's gassy, then it's good to use. My water here. Now I'm just gonna spoon out some sourdough to put in the water. So now that we know the starter is good to go, it floats in the water, it's super bubbly on the side, I think she's ready to be made into sourdough. So the first thing that I think is super crucial when making bread is a freaking scale. I feel like I was just kind of measuring things out with like a cup, or sometimes even eyeballing it, but it definitely made a difference just using a scale and precisely measuring everything out. I know some people don't do that, and some people actually just eyeball things, and that may work for them if you're like an experienced sourdough starter maker, but I need things to a T. And so I measured everything out beforehand. I got my flour, I got my salt, and I also got my water in the microwave. I needed it to be lukewarm before adding my sourdough starter. And I might also need a bigger bowl for this because it's actually a lot of flour. Last thing that I needed to measure out was actually my starter dough. And so it's going to be 100 grams of this. So let me, first of all, turn this on, tear it, and then let's put the, oh my gosh, it's like so spidery, which is a good thing. I honestly don't even know if I have enough of this, but hopefully I do. And it's like probably the whole jar, to be honest. Oh my gosh, it's so, like, I wish you can see what's coming out of this right now. It's so spidery and like spongy looking. Hopefully that means it's good. Oh, I did a little bit more than I needed it, but it's fine. And then let me just quickly wipe this off because I know it's gonna be so hard to clean this later. Now just putting in my, I think, lukewarm water. Oh gosh, I actually don't even know if I'm doing this right. I think I'm like supposed to mix in the starter with the water, and then I put the actual flour. I think that makes sense. Oh my gosh. I feel like my bowl is just like not big enough, to be honest. I'm just gonna slowly add the actual flour because I feel like it's gonna make a mess. Also, let me take it off the scale. I think that'll help being on like a even surface. I'm probably gonna need not a spoon to do this. I'm gonna slowly add things just because I don't want to make a big mess than I already am. Oh shoot, I forgot the salt, which I guess I'll just mix in right now. There is like all this flour to add too. So, oh my gosh, I honestly, how am I going to do this? Oh gosh, all right, let's just work with this. Okay, so I think we're at the part of the dough where it's finally starting to like be more solid, and I think I might have to actually just use my hands at this point because it's getting a little bit messy. I'm going to wet my hands so that it's not as sticky to my hands. So be right back. Okay. Ooh, my gosh. I think this is a better way than using the spatula. I mean, it's very messy, but and it's very sticky, but I think that means it's good. I think like it should be sticky, right? Because it is dough and it's very active. I actually don't know like what it's supposed to look like actually at this stage. I should probably revisit that because it just looks like goop. Is it supposed to look more smooth, or is this okay? Should I put my flour? Oh gosh, I don't know. And now my hands are too dirty to like even use my phone to look it up. But I think everything is like combined at least. There's just like a lot of sticky bits to the bowl that I can't really get. Oh my gosh, look at this. I think I might transfer to a different bowl with some flour on the bottom, so that I can maybe like, I mean, I'm not supposed to shape it at this point, but I think the next step after this is to like really just, oh gosh, I'm like struggling. The next step after this is actually supposed to be the folds, the stretch and folds, that's what it's called. So after 30 minutes of leaving it out in room temperature, I'm supposed to start stretching and folding and doing that 3 times in 30-minute increments. And then I let it sit again for like, I think like 6 to 12 hours, depending on how cold it is. But it's very cold where I'm at. I'm on the East Coast. We literally just had a snowstorm, so it's super cold in my house. So I expect it to be a little bit longer than the 12 hours, and that's fine because by then it would be like tomorrow morning, which I will probably have more time to like dedicate to this instead of me like having to wake up in the middle of the night or something to like make bread, which sounds ridiculous. So I think I'm just gonna have to go back to the spatula because it's really sticking to the bowl. And I just wanna like make sure I grab everything before I transfer it to the other bowl that is now floured. But yeah, it's kind of like a little bit harder than I thought it would be. I thought it would be more like smooth and bouncy, but maybe that's just at a different point of sourdough making. Oh gosh, okay. Like I said, this is what it looks like at the moment. And I'm trying to like just scoop everything so that I can put it in the other bowl. Okay, I'm just going to put it because clearly it's not coming out. Okay. This is happening. Okay. I'm trying to scoop a lot of it off because it is very hard to clean dough off of like bowls and stuff. Like I don't even know how I'm gonna wash this. Like I'm scared to do it and then it's going to like ruin my dreams or something because of all the dough that's on it. So I think I'm gonna quickly soak it in hot water and then I'm gonna use a tissue to like try and get as much off of it as possible. Okay, so now it's 30 minutes and we're doing our first stretch and folds. Okay, it is sticky. Oh my gosh, it's also a lot coarser than I thought it would be. I think I have to mix it actually a little bit more, but I think this is how you do it. I've been totally just taking it and folding it and then rotating the bowl a little bit. I also forgot how much I do it. Like, do I just do it once around or? Oh shoot, it broke. I don't know if that matters. Like, will that affect the bread if I broke it by accident? But, oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. I heard you're supposed to just jiggle it a little bit and then fold it over. It keeps breaking. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I put too much flour on the bottom now that like it doesn't feel like it's mixed in. And I feel like I have to kind of restart this a little bit. I'm thinking about, yeah, I think I'm gonna wait another 30 minutes to stretch and fold, but I think I'm going to just quickly mix all of this together again because it really doesn't feel like it's all mixed in now. Because I lined the bowl with some flour. And so I don't know if that affected anything. It made it more coarse and not feel like it's as, okay, yeah. Let's do this again. Restart, not completely restart, but let's restart with the stretch and folds in 30 minutes. Okay, back with the stretch and folds. Okay, it looks a lot better actually. It's still like really sticky, but I think it's normal from what I'm looking at. So you just want to like jiggle it and fold over. I think I'm just gonna do it a couple of times, circling around it, but it definitely looks a lot better. I was looking at how it's supposed to look after like a few stretch and folds, like 3, but I think I'm gonna do 4 just because again, I messed up the first time and I just mixed it. So 3 more of these, or yeah, no, 2 more of these after I do this. Oh, but yeah, so after a few of these, it should like really smooth out rather than like right now where I feel like it's a little bit coarse. So I'm going to do 2 more of these and then I'll meet you guys back when it's ready to sit for, I think 6 to 12 hours. Okay, so while we wait for the bread to, or the dough to proof and rise up, we have so much time to think about what our packaging is going to look like. So I don't have it with me at the moment. It's gonna come a little bit later, but I ordered a bunch of like bread bags and I'm thinking about going 2 different directions. One, I can just simply put a sticker in the transparent part and like have it as like a logo, and then another one where I have like a bunch of twine, so I'm thinking about wrapping it up like as if it's a gift, and then in the middle where it's like tied where the bow is supposed to be, I'm going to have like a couple of hang tags. So it's gonna have the logo one and then also maybe like a bread care situation going on, like how long you're supposed to have the bread, how to store it, how to like cook it, how to toast it or something. So I'm leaning more towards the twine route more so than the sticker route, but I think first things first is we gotta draw the logo of our supposed bread brand. This is my iteration of what I think my logo is gonna look like, and then I'll probably have like some words on the top or bottom depending on how much room I have or like what shape I'm thinking the logo would be. I'm thinking maybe a circle, but again, didn't think that too far ahead yet, but I think I'm like debating also if I should just color him in or leave it as like an outline, but I'm thinking of coloring it in because we do have a lot of time to like play around with it. So we'll see which one I like most after coloring it in. Okay, so this is how it's gonna look. I am in love with it. It's very simple. It's just my dog with a chef's hat, and I honestly think I like it colored in more so than outlined. So I'm gonna import this to my computer, and then I'm gonna go on Canva to like add some finishing touches on like text and things like that. So it's gonna look like that. I'm going to probably have like a hole up here to hang it on the twine, but I'm kind of obsessed with this. I hope it looks good when I like actually print it out. Okay, so now that we have the logo, label, sticker part of the bread packaging done, I wanna add in like a care card of some sort to also put on the bread bag and like tie it up somehow. So there's gonna be 4, I'm looking at my computer, but there's 4 like care things that I want to put on the label. The first one being that enjoy it within 2 to 3 days for peak freshness. So I think for this one, I'm gonna draw like a simple bread. And then the next one is store it in either a paper bag or bread box to preserve the freshness. So easy enough, draw a bread box. The next one is to freeze sliced bread and put it in the freezer for up to 6 months. That one is because like if you can't finish it in 2 to 3 days, just put it in the freezer, it's fine. You could just toast it up again. And then the last one is avoid putting the bread in your fridge and not the freezer, because if you put it in the fridge itself, it's just going to dry up the bread and it's just not gonna taste as good. So for this one, I think I'm just gonna simply draw a fridge and then put like an X on it or something. Nothing too crazy for that one. So like I said, I think these are just gonna be very simple drawings. It's gonna be like a little doodle, so it shouldn't take more than like 15 minutes maybe for each of these drawings, and it's gonna be 4 drawings. So let's get to that, and then after that I think we're good with like packaging material. I quickly drew 4 little doodles that I can just add to my care card, so let me show you what I made. First one being the bread box and has just a bunch of bread in it. The next one is the don't put in the fridge, put in the freezer one. And then I made one for putting the bread sliced in the freezer for this one. And the care portion where it says to like eat it fresh within 2 to 3 days, I think I'm just gonna keep it as is with the dog logo to make it more consistent everywhere. So now that I have finished drawing them, I'm going to import them to my computer to put into Canva, and then I'm going to add the text and then also the little circles so that I can put in my little silhouette cameo to cut out. It's 7 in the morning right now and we are awake because we have to shape our bread now. Yes, and I even like slept a little bit longer than I needed to because technically I was supposed to wake up maybe like 5 or 6 for the optimal shaping time or like letting it proof. And so this sat out for 6, it's supposed to be 6 to 12, and I let it sit for closer to 13. So now she is ready to be shaped. So this is what the bag's gonna look like. Let's open it up to see what we're working with before we print things out in terms of like sizing and everything. I'm also hoping I got the right size bag because I don't know how big the bread is gonna be itself. Okay, so it's gonna look like this. It has that clear front and I'm just going to probably like fold it to the back or something. I wish I had like a sample bread or something to like use to see what it looks like, but it's actually a pretty decent sized bag, like head for reference. And then I'm gonna have the twine kind of wrap like a gift, and then in the middle I'm going to have the care card and then a logo, and that's it. I wish I had like, I don't know, like a parsley or something green to like tie with it, but for now that's what it's gonna look like. So once I had everything settled in Canva, I printed things out and the tags looked so cute. This is the logo and everything, and I had a hole placed into my silhouette cameo, and then also the care card. Super cute, and it's just gonna look like this. And I have my twine downstairs so that I can tie everything up, and my bread is done. It took me 2 whole days to bake the whole thing, or 2 full days of like making sure that the dough is risen, and then finally an hour or so to like bake it. So it's been a process, a journey, but we are finally done with our first loaf of bread. Rusty. Look at her. She is finally out of the oven. This is like overnight cooked out, and she's perfect. She's so crusty and everything. I'm just kind of like nervous to cut her open because I'm like afraid to see how it looks inside, but hopefully it's what I expect it to be, which is spongy, bubbly looking, and like a sourdough bread. But she smells really good right now. I did feel like I burnt a little bit at the top. I think next time I'll just let it not be in the oven for so long uncovered, because taking the cover off the Dutch oven makes the color a little bit more golden brown, but I think I overdid it a little bit. So next time I'll just do a little shorter time. Okay. I'm so nervous. This is the final look. I think it's super cute, and it definitely gives off the Doodles by Indie vibe with the drawings here. And I'm so excited to like make more bread now and like gift these to people. I don't think it's like entirely ready bread wise for me to give to people because I want it to be more fluffier, but we got the packaging down. I had so much fun just making packaging. I know this isn't like custom design packaging, but it's a start on just packaging things in general. So yeah, first of many packaging projects for me. So hopefully you guys stick around for more packaging projects like this. But until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this.